Welcome back. Today's session is going to be 2-21, which is wave hands like clouds. So in our last session, we finished up facing the north part of the form with slant flying. So that's where we're going to pick up today, and we're going to work on wave hands like clouds. This is going to be difficult to show and still stay in frame, but you'll be able to see it better from the side. So we finished with slant flying, and this is what the movement looks like with no pauses. Now, normally in the form, we do that one more time, but I'm going to be out of frame. So I'll be able to do it when I'm doing it to the side, but moving here laterally, I won't be able to keep it inside the frame. So we're going to break that down, and the steps will all be the same. You're just going to do them in repetition in the form. So we just finished slant flying. My weight is currently in my right foot. I'm going to pick up my left foot as my left hand passes by, kind of like picking up a hitchhiker here. And I'm going to set it down so that when I resettle my weight, it's going to be 1 shoulder width wide. It was 2 shoulder widths wide. Now I'm 1 shoulder width wide. This is in the center line of my body, like I have a ruler. Then I come back to the front. This will be more apparent when you see it from the side as well. And as I pick up my foot, I'm taking my right hand and I'm turning my right toe forward. As it was currently in a 45 degree, as I bring my right hand, it pulls that right toe forward. So now I am 1 shoulder width wide. And we do a series of 3 of these. The other thing you have to notice, I'm picking up the left foot with the left hand. As I touch my left hand to my right wrist, I touch my left toe on its 2 shoulder widths wide position. Then I settle my weight into the left, keeping this in front of my chest. Now my weight is over my left leg. My right hand now is going to pick up my right foot. I'm not pointing the knee out. I've seen some of my students pick up their foot and put their knee out. The knee stays forward, you're picking it up, and as I touch my left wrist, I touch my right toe. And now I'm back to 1 shoulder width wide. Turning the hips and the shoulders, picking up the left, touching the wrist and the toe, 2 shoulder widths wide. Weight's now in the left, so I can pick up the right foot, touching the wrist, touching the toe. I'm shoulder width wide here. And again, you would go 1 more to the left, the west side of the form, but I can't do that and stay inside the frame. So now let's do it facing the east wall, and you'll be able to see a little bit more of what's going on. I am 2 shoulder widths wide. Get ruler ready. We've just finished slant fly. I'm weighted in the the right leg. I'm going to pick up the left foot. And as I set my toe down, I'm going to touch the right wrist, settle into my left foot. And as I turn currently my shoulders are at the 45. As I turn my chest forward, I'm going to rotate that right toe because it was at a 45 earlier from the slant flying. Now it's both feet on railroad tracks, shoulder width apart, facing forward. Now I can do it 2 more times. Picking up the left foot, touching down as I touch the wrist. I'm keeping this in front of my chest. My arm's not moving, my shoulders and hips are moving. Good, now I'm weighted in the left, I'm gonna pick up the right foot as my right hand passes by. And I'm gonna touch here as I touch my left wrist. And now my right hand will stay in front of my chest. And we're gonna do that 1 more time. Picking up the left, touching the wrist, stepping 2 shoulder widths wide. Weights in the left, picking up the right foot, touching the wrist. Good. All right. So now let's do it to the back. Again, I'm not going to be able to do all of the steps. I'm going to be right here. Slant flying, weights in the right, picking up the left, touch toe, touch wrist, rotating back towards the front, leaving my hand in front of my chest. Now the right hand pulls the right toe forward. So now I'm on railroad tracks, facing the same direction, and touching the left wrist, picking up the left foot, touching 2 shoulder widths wide, settling into the left leg, weights in the left, picking up the right foot, and touching the left wrist and the right toe, turning the hips and the shoulders, picking up, touch, 2 shoulder widths wide, rotating, notice all the rotation, picking up the right foot, and touch. Good, now I'm back to 1 shoulder width wide. So now let's do it towards this final angle, and we'll work on the breathing this time. To note, when you're picking up your feet and bringing your energy in, as always, that's when you're going to be taking your breath in. I should be able to get all 3. It'll be a tight fit, but maybe we'll get all 3 as we do it in the form, going all the way back. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to add the transition from this 2-21 into 2-22, which will be our next session, single whip, and I'll get us prepped for that. So here we are, just finishing slant flying. Breath in, and touching as you put the toe. Good. Now, this brings that, so now I have feet on the railroad track, 1 shoulder width apart. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, You lift up the foot. Remember, the knee doesn't go out, the knee is coming up. Touch the wrist, touch the toe, one shoulder width wide. And the last one, breath in, picking up. And the touch of the wrist and the toe signals the onset of the breath out. And then you have the last breath in, breath out. And now I'm going to do the preparation right before the single whip. So you've just finished. You're going to weight to the right, holding the ball and bringing the left foot in. And that's going to prepare you for the next session of 2-22 single whip. Let me show you once to the front. We've just finished the last picking up. This is the last in the series of 3. We're back at one shoulder width wide. We finished turning to the right, and now we're going to pull back to form the ball, and this pulls the left foot in. And now we are primed up for the next session, 2-22 single whip. So, until next time, have a wonderfully Zen day.